security detail, did they take you to and from your house?
So I haven't been able to enjoy my home.
Condo, I'm sorry.
In March
where you lay your head? Did they take you to and from where you lay your head?
99% of the time.
Would they take Mr. Wade to and from wherever you laid your head?
That has never in the history of ever happened. Ever, okay?
Your security team has never taken him?
From my house? That's a lie.
I'm asking if they've ever taken him anywhere.
And I'm telling you that that's never happened.
So your security team has never taken Mr. Wade
My security team has never taken Mr. Wade from any place where I have lived and brought him here. Never. Not once. Not ever.
Have they ever taken the two of you together?
To where?
Anywhere.
Well, we've left this building and gone to lunch, but I go to lunch so rarely that is a very rare occasion. I am sure, and let me be clear, it wouldn't just be Mr. Wade. So I'm sure my security team has taken me to lunch. Probably been a time I've left here 7 o'clock, gone to get something to eat, and I don't even know that they would have taken him or if he would have driven himself, but they've taken me to do that. But we're talking very few, very far in between. Most days I don't even eat lunch, and when I do, it's because my assistant has heated up some bag, something, and I eat through meetings and eat in my office. It's not a practice of mine to go to lunch.
During the time period that you were dating, would your security team ever take you two together anywhere?
No.
Never?
If there was a lunch that occurred that I just described, if there was a meal that occurred that I just described, anything outside of that, and it needs to be very clear. Not often. Once, twice. Because I've
never been brought to light, because had it not been for the efforts of Ashley Merchant in uncovering the fact that Nathan Wade filed for divorce the day after he was hired as the so-called special prosecutor on this case, who has no felonious prosecution ability, and he was hired, and he decides, hey, you know what? I'm going to file for divorce from my wife of 26 years.
What a shame.
Isn't that something?
That's
You
hard to
know
believe.
something had to be going on, but I want to make a point real quick about the affidavit I was just saying. In his divorce affidavit, he swore that he had not been with any other woman sexually or otherwise. He swore that he did not have a girlfriend, that he was not cohabitating. They are both sticking to the story that they have not been intimate, let's just put it that way, until after he was hired as special prosecutor.
Okay.
And of course, they have a ton of evidence to the contrary that is just simply a lie, to put it bluntly.
A huge good faith basis for everything that I put in every single motion. That's going to come out. The reason I don't want to call Mr. Bradley first is for hearsay objections, quite frankly. And normally we don't have to disclose how we're going to present evidence. I'm okay doing that here, but based on the rules of evidence, hearsay, and privilege issues, what makes the most sense, and we've spent a lot of time thinking about this, what makes the most sense is for us to have Ms. Yeardy testify, and if you want me to proffer what I anticipate she's going to say, I talked to her last night, she's going to say that there was a personal relationship that began in October of 2019. She's going to testify to that, and she has personal direct knowledge of that. It's not hearsay, and it's not privilege. She's going to take the stand. She's terrified, but she's going to take the stand and tell the truth. And
I guess my final response would be that, as Your Honor pointed out during the last hearing, Ms. Merchant's entire representation for good faith was all solely based on Mr. Bradley. In fact, I remember the court saying that the star witness presented or provided by the defense is Mr. Bradley, and you asked a specific question. Ms. Merchant, well, Mr. Bradley, does he have firsthand knowledge from these people, each one of them, you named the lawyers plus the investigators, as it relates to the claims that were made? And her answer was yes. I can definitively tell you the answer is no. And Ms. Merchant has not spoken to Mr. Bradley, according to his counsel, B.C. Chopra, who is outside.
The lady attorney has blown him out of the water on this one. What do you guys think?
Attorney-client privilege. And the only point of this process and this
what a mess.
As it relates to the motions that were filed, is to create a spectacle and to create harassment to the district attorney of Fulton County.
Another person saying no, and so I think that conflict in the evidence that we noted on Monday still exists, and that's where we are. And we'll see how the evidence presents itself.
Nathan Wade should
So
leave
with
the
that-
court here in just a second. Right, this is Wade's ex-law partner or
Bradley, how are you?
Good morning.
Not happy to be here, I'm assuming.
I am not.
Okay, I understand. Thank you for being here.
Oh,
Wasn't by choice.
not by
Right.
choice.
You were subpoenaed to come and testify in this case.
I was.
But you and I have spoken previously about relevant facts surrounding Mr. Wade and Ms. Willis's relationship.
No, we have not.
We have not. We've not texted about those facts.
Through a third party, you were given some information. You and I shared text. Our texts were more so about my health, more so about if I was okay with what was going on, that I would not be,
Oh,
whether or not I was going to be subpoenaed or not, and that emphatically I would not have been sitting in this position as being called as a witness. So that's what my text chain show. So no.
That we've never talked about Willis and Wade having a relationship.
I wasn't expecting
Not
this.
directly you and I, no. We talked about my health.
Okay.
We talked about, as I stated before, other things, but not this, no.
Okay. Did you text me about Wade and Willis taking many trips together?
I object. Well,
Mr. Brown, there's been an objection.
One, I'm going to object that the attorney finds two.
Judge, it's not hearsay. We've had these conversations. If I need to take the stand, I will. If I need to put my phone into evidence, I will.
Wow.
So the first objection was
And she will.
privilege on behalf of the state.
Oh, I'm sorry, I did not respond to that. Thank you, Judge. Privilege is only communications that are made in furtherance of legal advice. There's been no showing that whether or not they took a trip to California or took a trip, or that Mr. Bradley and I talked about that, either in person or by text, that's privilege. I'm not asking for any communications that Mr. Wade might have made to Mr. Bradley in furtherance of any legal advice.
The answer where he had no knowledge. Now she hasn't laid the foundation in order to continue to ask the same question over and over.
Ms. Merchant.
Just on behalf of Mr. Bradley, we can this falls under the privileges of the 1.6. The attorney-client privileges on something. Regardless of the information or communications, is proper.
They are fighting like you know what
They
to
are.
keep this man from testifying. Obviously, there's something to hide.
Yes, there is. Let's see if she does it.
That privilege should have.
Sure. Either Ms. Merchant can take the lead if she wants to, but my understanding was that generally has to fall on the person who's asserting the privilege.
Except when the attorney is not authorized to violate that privilege, or else he has in fact violated the bar rules, which we have an opinion regarding someone in the state bar court.
All right.
That's why I thought perhaps the sidebar might be important rather than
Well, I still want to kind of see how we can go. So, Ms. Merchant, it sounds like you're going to need to lay a little bit more foundation to see whether this actually is.
Foundation just means you have to have a
That's my
basis,
question.
a
And
question.
what I can do, I was just told that Ms. Yerdy's in the waiting room, but I can, if the state wants to read my text, if Mr. Bradley wants to read them to refresh his memory, I have absolutely no problem with that. I have my phone here, and they're welcome to do that. But I'll talk about some other things, and then maybe if they're going to have a lot of objections to privilege and hearsay, what I can do is I can lay a foundation with Mr. Bradley, get him off the stand, put Ms. Yerdy up, and then Mr. Wade, so we can get through.
Oh, good. Her witness showed up, folks, if you didn't catch that.
She
all right.
is
Let's talk
not
about something not
stopping.
controversial then. When did you and Mr. Wade first meet?
Probably 1998.
Okay. And did you all have a law firm together?
We did.
When did that firm start?
Probably, I think it was 2010. We started exclusively working together as a firm, operating as
We don't need to hear it again. Ms. Merchant.
Judge, luckily I don't have to tell the state or them everything that I plan on introducing a witness for in response to their motion to quash. She has a lot of personal knowledge. And when we had a motion to quash, I had to get over a good faith basis, and I presented that to the court. I did not spend 4 hours going through everything that this woman's going to testify to. She has personal knowledge.
Is she actually here?
I think she's on Zoom. What I understand, Mr. Partridge.
Mr. Partridge, is your client with us?
She's on the Zoom platform, Your Honor, since I'm in Richmond County via my conflict. But she is on the Zoom platform at this time, Your Honor, in the waiting room. I believe she may have been admitted. I see a Robin on my screen. I'm assuming that is my client.
Ms. Merchant.
That Monday's hearing was a good faith basis based on what she learned from Harris Bradley. And we know that is false. It's not true. So there is no good faith basis, and we would renew our objection and quash this case.
That was not in regards to Ms. Yurdy.
It certainly was. I was at like the 20-minute mark.
Judge, she has personal knowledge of this relationship.
Not what was represented on Monday. Personal knowledge came from Mr. Bradley. She has no good faith basis to explore this fishing
Wow.
expedition as it relates to Ms. Yurdy. This is a blatant
All right, Mr. Abad.
They are each fighting
Ms. Merchant,
for it.
I do believe that when we went through the motion to quash, you grouped them into two categories, and each one of them we said that they were going to be impeached by Mr. Bradley.
We took Ms. Yurdy outside of Fulton County, Judge. So we talked about Fulton County differently than Ms. Yurdy. We took Ms. Yurdy out separately. She was different than Fulton County because there wasn't other issues. And again, so we're arguing the motion to quash. I responded to their argument on the motion to quash. Did I tell them that she's going to testify that she's known Miss Willis for years and that her middle name is Latrice? No, I didn't tell them everything she's going to testify to. I don't, if you wanted me to, I could have, but that has nothing to do. There's a witness that contradicts what they have said in court, and they're doing everything they can to keep her off the stand and keep the truth away from this court. They filed a motion to quash. I showed a good faith basis. If my good faith basis is Mr. Bradley or Miss Yurdy or texts I've seen, it's still a good faith basis. There's no law that says I have to tell them every single good faith basis I have ahead of time. If we did, we would never have trials.
All right, Ms. Merchant.
All the drama.
The argument of counsel, I think the standard on a motion to quash and a subpoena is not one where we're required to completely flesh out and litigate every reason the witness may be relevant. And
All right.
so we'll take these one at a time with Ms. Yurdy.
That's a win for Ashley Merchant.
Quash and,
Okay.
Another denial of the quash motion.
Election and to proceed in your presentation.
We're going to keep an eye on this girl. Let me know what you all think about
So,
this.
Mr. Bradley, you may be excused for now. Thank you. But subject to
Wow.
recall.
Love you, treasures, and I will see you on the next one. Remember, you're all beautiful and keep smiling.